So I'm just wandering, walking down from Bruce's, this beautiful big barn. I'm going to take a little walk down the pathway. You can see all some of the jungle. This is literally, he's planted everything, all of these plants. None of them were here. There's 40, 50, 60, 70 foot trees plus, and he's planted what, over 500 different species here. A lot now obviously are growing all over the island where the seeds have been scattered, birds have taken them. A lot of these food, trees are growing all over the island now, reintroduced new species. Some weren't native to here, but obviously there's a lot of really good hardwoods, really fast growing. Some of these trees will grow to like 50 foot tall in 10-15 years. Such is the environment. So, but yeah, this is a little walk down. This is the pathway up to Bruce's, and a beautiful walk, a really private kind of hideaway jungle home, super peaceful. Lots of wildlife. Everything comes alive overnight. All the animals come out of everywhere. One of his little shacks in the distance, that's Nadir's home. The majority are fruit trees, but virtually everything you see is either a medicine, a fruit, a herb, a hardwood, which can be used for anything. This is a jackfruit tree. That jackfruit's been picked there. A lot of these have been picked. You can see some at the very top, but that's what, 2, 4, 6, that's probably 20 meters high, and I can see this really big jackfruit. So trying to get up there is not easy. You've got to get the harness out, get yourself up in the tree, and then when you pick the fruit, they're like 30-40 pound in weight, so not the easiest thing to get down either. So but amazing to watch, amazing to see them growing in a natural habitat. So yeah, beautiful place. I'm going to take a walk down. There's a couple of bridges that need repairing, and I helped build a new one recently. We got all the stuff prepared. Didn't take that long. We did over a couple of weeks, and kind of pre-drilled the holes, measured out the timber, we treated all the runners, and then I measured up all the boards in advance, and says, I wasn't around those days, someone else cut them down to size because they were all measured out, and then Bruce treated them with a formula he makes called octobore, which literally kills every insect, but it's a natural boric acid that's, he grows the plants on land here to create the formula. He also uses it to treat all the bamboo. There's different, I think he's got 6-7 different types of bamboo. Some is for like craft work and making instruments and different various things, and more ornate things. The really kind of yellowy blonde ones, kind of native to Japan. And then there's lots of really good dense construction bamboos that you can build houses with. And it all takes a bit of a curing process. You've got to cut them down, inject them with this octobore with a dye in it, so it's come through the other end of the long lengths of bamboo, and then you've got a drying time. It could be 2, 3, 4 months, even longer, and then you can start using it for construction. Look at the root patterns on some of these, fantastic palms growing dead straight. You can see how high, and those berries they gather up there, they're super nutrient. I've just had a glass of it, like a purple berry, Wirasul. It releases a beautiful golden oil, which you see forms on top as you like gently simmering the berries. Lots and lots of goodness in there, and you can strain it a couple of times because it's quite concentrated. Really good for the body though, high in minerals and essential oils you need for the body. Jackfruit trees, breadfruit trees, got key limes, There's literally everything growing on here, so everything that you can just be totally vegetarian, and with a really high in fibre fruits, and really self-sustainable. This is kind of borderline. There's on 25 hectares of land here, so, and this was like a rolling pasture. Cows and stuff used to graze on here. If you go straight through his land to the neighbouring land, you can see the rolling pasture and how it was, and just trees here and there, rolling pasture. Is literally, you now walk through a jungle to get, it's created a jungle environment within this pasture. So everything you see has literally been created here, and it's part of the ecosystem to, his first project is he deals with water, so water, the essential element for life, and to create good water, and the spring water which he produces through a series of different filters with charcoal and sand and several different tanks for where the water's flowing. You realise that, and then obviously you need to create the environment around for the ground to hold the water to create the then spring water is trying to produce. So it's all part and parcel. You create the land, introduce these kind of plants and species, because if it's just rolling past you, you can't create the spring water. You need all the other elements around which is created, and then you can create your own water. And that's the life giving properties. You get your water right, and everything else around it will grow. I'm just going to pass a pool down here where there's caiman living. I took a picture recently of a couple of caiman that were only babies. They may be like maybe 2 foot long, head to tail. Of a night, you say 3 or 4 in the morning. They're quite pretty shy creatures, to be fair, but they do roam this land, and there's some 5 or 6 foot caiman normally in the pond. You can see a couple of tracks where they normally come out of the pond to get onto the land. I know Nadir comes home late sometimes, but he said he's never had an issue. And they know it's quiet then, and that's when they come onto land, maybe doing a little bit of foraging. That's probably one little track they come out of. There's a few of these pools down below. This is one of the bridges we'll be trying to repair. Obviously there's a lot of people who live beyond his land, and they do actually cut through his land because it's a bit swampy down another route. And so you can see these concrete pillars, like the one we formed under his house. I'm going to try a plan to clear 6 of these at a time, 2 either side, and we're going to take the debris that's inside. We're going to put some rebar in there, sticking maybe a 50-60mm at the top, concrete that in, and then put the runners on top of that, and it'll sit on top of the rebar. Drill a couple of holes, that'll sit in situ, and we're going to rebuild this bridge in stages, 3 stages I see, so 6 of these concrete plinths at a time, and we can slowly, while the bridge still needs to be in use as we're building it. And obviously this pond here is where the caiman normally are. This was really full last week. We had a really biggest rainfall I'd seen since I'd been here. Can't see any caiman today, just sitting on the top, but they're definitely in there. I thought there were fish thrashing around when I first went past, and then I spotted 2 of them sitting on top, looking like logs really. Maybe you could see their eyes. I'll try and draw up the picture on another, I think it was on my phone, and I'll post them on one of my bits of social media stories. But you can see, it's pretty dilapidated. A lot of work to do, but nothing that can't be done. Obviously a lot of trees overgrown. I'm going to have to use that tree as part of support for the new bridge. If I do it in sections, you can... There's a caiman. He was talking there and he was literally right by me. He probably heard the noise thrashing. He's just gone under that bush. But yeah, teaming with life. Can't see him in the shot, but that little noise had been captured as he was thrashing away. He's just hiding under that tree. But yeah, you can see a lot of work to be done just on that bridge alone. So a lot of planning, but if you plan it in the 3 stages, you can get it repaired. People can still use this part of the bridge to cross, get to the new section, and then do a section at a time. So yeah, a lot of work to be done, but a lot of planning. And obviously we'll do the same kind of procedure we did with the other. Measure some timber out, get them cut down to size, the size width of the bridge we're going to use. This was a bridge I built recently, and I was able to, we had a couple of L-shaped brackets, these are the ones on the side, so I was able to pre-drill those. It was like 16-foot runners that Bruce treated with like a tar to protect that. He's still got to come and paint the sides, and then I was able to cut the boards down and then